Hi everyone, Congressman Blake Moore here. I haven't had a chance to do one of these More You Know videos for a while, and this was a really productive week back in Congress, and I wanted to share that. It's actually snowing a bunch, so it sort of feels like Utah, and I'm ready we'll be back in district next week, but I just wanted to share and give a little bit more context of why this was, such a positive week, because candidly, they're not always like this. And this was a good thing. So I just wanted to share some of the things that we accomplished this week. And as I've talked a lot about, debt in our nation is one of the big things to figure out. If we look out 10, 15 years, the crowding out that takes place with the amount of interest, the amount that we're just paying on the interest is going to make it so much more difficult to invest in the right types of things. For example, in 5 or so years, the interest that we're paying on our debt could actually overtake what we spend on defense as an entire budget. So this is the issue. This is something that I serve on the Budget and the Ways and Means Committee, and these are two really key committees to be able to address this. Most of our debt drivers, the big direct spending measures that we work on in Congress, comes from the Ways and Means Committee, and I'm really focused on dealing with this. The Fiscal Commission Act, I'll oftentimes refer to it as the Debt Commission, is something that I've been hyper-focused on for the last 3 years since joining Congress. And we passed it through the Budget Committee today, and we feel like there's real momentum to get this through the House. It was ultimately a bipartisan vote too, mostly supported on the Republican side. We have the majority right now, and so we were able to drive what this ultimately looks like, but there's really good opportunity to get this through the House. I'm really excited about it. This is, we've done commissions before. We've had the Greenspan Commission. We've had Simpson-Bowles. What we're requiring this time is action. And in this bill and the companion version in the Senate, once these recommendations are laid out, after the commission does its work, it's going to include members of Congress. It'll include experts on this. It will require a floor vote. So it's not going to be something that's just created, put on a shelf, some great recommendations. We need action on this, and that's the part that I'm hopeful for, to have something different here. So we'll keep you posted on how it's going to play out. But we got it through the Budget Committee this week, as well as my bill, the Fiscal State of the Nation Act, which will require Government Accountability Office to provide some really key metrics. We've got to be talking debt to GDP. That's one of the most important measures to discuss when you're dealing with all of this debt, and just have it open in a transparent way. This passed with unanimous support, actually. So this one, we're excited about where this one will go, and really appreciate my colleagues for co-leading this with me. We're going to put more information out in our newsletter. Today, on the Ways and Means Committee, we actually passed a very, very important tax relief package for Families and Workers Act. In 2017, Republicans did the Tax Cut and Jobs Act, and we saw a lot of good, strong economic growth come from that. You saw real wage growth happen. Companies were now competitive on a global scale with the tax rates that they had to pay, and they were choosing to keep their businesses in the United States. So those things are key. And in order to do that bill, there was a handful of provisions that were changed, looking out at a long-term aspect. But these provisions are very, very important, and for the last several years, we've been working on getting these re-implemented. And today was a great day because we were able to do it. We got this bill done, and the things that it included: R&D expensing, interest deductibility, 100% expensing. Those have sunset, and they for the last 3 years, you're no longer able to write off your R&D expenses in that first year that you incur them. This is very important when you're looking at a globally competitive scale. Places like China actually pay companies to do R&D. We're not at that point. We don't need to go to that level, but we need to make sure that companies, whether it's a big healthcare company, a manufacturing firm, anything in that nature that is doing R&D. I've heard this from small business owners, neighbors of mine that have been affected by this, that we need to get this back to the point where we're being able to expense it in the first year. And that's what today's bill did, along with things like interest deductibility and 100% expensing. When you make investments in your company, in the property, in capital expenditures, you need to be able to get a tax relief from those items so you can continue to reinvest in your company and grow that, create more jobs. That's something that's key. The thing that we weren't sure was going to make it was our bill, my bill, the Small Business Growth Act. And we were thrilled when we passed it in the summer, but we didn't know after negotiations with the Senate where everything was going to line up, and we got it done. So our bill is actually included in this package, and it's a pretty narrow package. It's these three main provisions, and then only like 3 or 4 other bills, and the Small Business Growth Act was included in that. What that does is that increases the amount that a small business can invest in themselves, and also get some tax relief from that. We addressed this in the 2017 bill, and we're extending that more. We've seen good data that shows that drives strong investment. It's a relief to companies, and they can use that money to do other things with, and it's key. So we're really excited about that. Again, productive week. The other thing is the child tax credit. That was a key piece that we were able to get across the finish line. Again, 2017, we doubled the child tax. Republican-only bill doubled the child tax credit. Democrats are also very supportive of this as well, and so we worked together to find a good place to land on making sure that what we did in 2017 continues on, and it has good, strong growth going in the future. We don't want to limit what families can take from this as well. Larger families get to actually benefit from this. This is something that directly affects middle class, lower income Americans, and it's just a good, strong aspect to the policy. I know it's tax and debt and all that kind of stuff. This is exciting stuff to start out the new year. There is real potential for these things to continue to advance through the legislative process, and not just end in the House, but actually have some legs and get through the Senate as well. And I'm thrilled for it. We'll keep you posted on all these things as we navigate the rest of the process. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for staying engaged, and we'll come back with more.